When people find out I write about time management,
Ketika mengetahui bahwa saya menulis tentang manajemen waktu,
they assume two things.
orang-orang biasanya berasumsi dua hal.
One is that I'm always on time,
Pertama, saya selalu tepat waktu,
and I'm not.
dan kenyataannya tidak.
I have 4 small children, and I would like to blame them for my occasional tardiness.
Saya punya 4 anak kecil, dan saya ingin menyalahkan mereka terkadang jika saya terlambat.
But sometimes it's just not their fault.
Tapi kadang itu bukan salah mereka.
I was once late to my own speech on time management.
Saya pernah terlambat berceramah tentang manajemen waktu.
We all had to just take a moment together and savor that irony.
Kita harus mengambil waktu sejenak untuk merenungkan ironi itu.
The second thing they assume is that I have lots of tips and tricks for saving bits of time here and there.
Kedua, mereka berasumsi bahwa saya punya banyak tips dan trik untuk meluangkan waktu.
And sometimes I'll hear from magazines that are doing a story along these lines.
Terkadang saya dihubungi majalah yang mengulas topik ini.
It's generally on how to help their readers find an extra hour in the day.
Biasanya untuk membantu pembaca mereka meluangkan waktu.
And the idea is that we'll shave bits of time off everyday activities,
Idenya, kita menghemat sedikit waktu dari setiap kegiatan sehari-hari.
add it up, and we'll have time for the good stuff.
Kumpulkan semuanya supaya kita punya waktu untuk hal-hal yang kita ingin lakukan.
And I question the entire premise of this piece.
Saya meragukan logika pikiran seperti itu.
But I'm always interested in hearing what they've come up with before they call me.
Tapi saya ingin tahu pendapat mereka sebelum mereka menghubungi saya.
So some of my favorites: doing errands in a way where you only have to make right-hand turns,
Jawaban favorit saya, menghindari belanja di tempat yang melewati lampu merah,
being extremely judicious in microwave usage, so it says 3 to 3.5 minutes on the package. We are totally getting in on the bottom side of that.
bijak dalam menggunakan microwave, di bungkusnya tertulis 3 hingga 3,5 menit, gunakan batas waktu minimum untuk menghemat waktu,
And my personal favorite, which makes sense on some level, is
dan favorit saya yang agak masuk akal,
to DVR your favorite shows so you can fast forward through the commercials.
merekam tayangan TV favorit Anda supaya Anda bisa melewati iklan.
And that way you save about 8 minutes every half hour.
Anda bisa menghemat 8 menit setiap setengah jam.
So in the course of 2 hours of watching TV, you find 32 minutes to exercise.
Jadi dari 2 jam menonton TV, Anda bisa berolahraga 32 menit.
Which is true.
Yang mana benar?
You know another way to find 32 minutes to exercise?
Anda tahu cara lain untuk bisa meluangkan 32 menit untuk olahraga?
Don't watch 2 hours of TV a day, right?
Jangan nonton TV 2 jam sehari, ya kan?
Anyway, the idea is we'll save bits of time here and there, add it up,
Jadi idenya adalah menghemat sedikit waktu di sana di sini dan kumpulkan semuanya.
we'll finally get to everything we want to do.
Dan kita bisa melakukan apa yang kita inginkan.
But after studying how successful people spend their time,
Tapi setelah meneliti bagaimana orang sukses memanfaatkan waktu mereka
and looking at their schedules hour by hour,
dan melihat jadwal mereka setiap jam,
I think this idea has it completely backward.
sepertinya ide ini adalah kebalikannya.
We don't build the lives we want by saving time.
Kita tak membangun kehidupan yang kita inginkan dengan menghemat waktu.
We build the lives we want,
Kita membangun hidup yang kita inginkan
and then time saves itself.
dan ada waktu yang tersisa.
Here's what I mean.
Saya akan menjelaskan.
I recently did a time diary project
Baru-baru ini, saya mengerjakan proyek
looking at 1,001 days in the lives of extremely busy women.
yang mempelajari 1001 hari kehidupan beberapa wanita super sibuk.
They had demanding jobs, sometimes their own businesses,
Mereka punya tuntutan karir, kadang bisnis sendiri,
kids to care for, maybe parents to care for, community commitments.
mengurus anak, mungkin mengurus orang tua, tanggung jawab di komunitas,
Busy, busy people.
orang-orang super sibuk.
I had them keep track of their time for a week so I could add up how much they worked and slept.
Saya catat kegiatan mereka selama seminggu. Saya hitung waktu kerja dan tidur mereka.
And I interviewed them about their strategies for my book.
Saya tanya strategi mereka untuk buku saya.
One of the women whose time log I studied, she goes out for a Wednesday night for something.
Satu wanita yang jadwalnya saya teliti, pergi keluar pada Rabu malam.
She comes home to find that her water heater has broken.
Saat pulang, pemanas airnya rusak
And there is now water all over her basement.
dan air memenuhi lantai dasar.
If you've ever had anything like this happen to you, you know it is a hugely damaging, frightening, sopping mess.
Kalau Anda pernah mengalami hal serupa, Anda tahu kejadian ini membuat semua berantakan.
So she's dealing with the immediate aftermath that night.
Jadi dia mengalami semuanya dalam malam itu.
Next day, she's got plumbers coming in. Day after that, professional cleaning crew dealing with the ruined carpet.
Besoknya, dia memanggil tukang ledeng. Besoknya lagi, dia panggil tukang bersih karpet.
All this is being recorded on her time log.
Semua tercatat dalam diarinya.
Winds up taking 7 hours of her week.
Ternyata semua ini memakan waktu 7 jam.
7 hours.
7 jam.
That's like finding an extra hour in the day.
Itu seperti mencari tambahan waktu dalam sehari.
But I'm sure if you had asked her at the start of the week,
Tapi saya yakin jika Anda menanyainya di awal minggu,
could you find 7 hours to train for a triathlon?
apakah Anda punya waktu 7 jam untuk berlatih
Could you
triathlon?
find 7 hours to mentor 7 worthy people?
Apakah Anda punya 7 jam untuk membimbing 7 orang berbakat?
Well, I'm sure she would have said what most of us would have said, which is no.
Saya yakin Anda tahu jawabannya. Tidak.
Can't you see how busy I am?
Anda tidak bisa lihat betapa sibuknya saya,
Yet when she had to find 7 hours,
tapi saat dia harus mencari 7 jam,
because there is water all over her basement, she found 7 hours.
karena lantai dasar kebanjiran, dia bisa punya 7 jam.
And what this shows us is that time is highly elastic.
Ini membuktikan bahwa waktu itu sangat elastis.
We cannot make more time,
Kita tidak bisa menambah waktu,
but time will stretch to accommodate what we choose to put into it.
tapi waktu akan merentang untuk mengakomodir apa yang kita lakukan.
And so the key to time management is treating our priorities
Jadi kunci manajemen waktu adalah memperlakukan prioritas kita
as the equivalent of that broken water heater.
seperti pemanas air rusak itu.
And to get at this, I like to use some language from one of the busiest people I ever interviewed.
Untuk memahaminya, saya akan memakai istilah salah satu orang tersibuk yang saya wawancarai.
By busy, I mean she was running a small business with 12 people on the payroll.
Dia menjalankan usaha kecil dengan 12 karyawan
She had 6 children in her spare time.
dan mengurus 6 anak di waktu luang.
I was getting in touch with her to set up an interview on how she had it all, that phrase.
Saya menghubunginya untuk mengatur jadwal wawancara tentang bagaimana dia melakukan
I
semuanya.
remember it was a Thursday morning and she was not available to speak with me,
Saya ingat waktu itu Kamis pagi dan dia tidak bisa bertemu saya.
of course, right?
Sibuk kan?
But the reason she was unavailable to speak with me is that she was out for a hike
Tapi alasannya tak bisa bertemu adalah karena dia mendaki gunung.
because it was a beautiful spring morning
Saat itu musim semi begitu indah
and she wanted to go for a hike.
dan dia ingin mendaki.
So, of course, this makes me even more intrigued.
Tentu saja ini membuat saya penasaran.
And when I finally do catch up with her, she explains it like this. She says, "Listen, Laura,
Dan saat kami bertemu, dia berkata demikian. Laura,
everything I do,
semua yang saya
every
lakukan,
minute I spend
setiap menit yang saya pakai
is my choice.
adalah pilihan saya.
And rather than say, I don't have time to do X, Y, or Z,
Jadi bukannya bertanya, saya tak punya waktu untuk X, Y, atau Z.
she'd say, I don't do X, Y, or Z because it's not a priority.
Dia berkata, saya tak melakukan X, Y, atau Z karena itu bukan prioritas.
I don't have time
Saya tak punya waktu,
often means it's not a priority.
sering berarti itu bukan prioritas.
If you think about it, that's really more accurate language.
Jika dipikir, istilah ini lebih akurat.
I mean, I could tell you I don't have time to dust my blinds, but that's not true.
Saya bisa bilang tak punya waktu membersihkan kerai, tapi itu salah.
If you offered to pay me $100,000 to go dust my blinds, I would get to it pretty quickly.
Jika ditawari $100.000 untuk membersihkannya, saya akan langsung kerjakan.
Since that is not going to happen,
Karena itu tak akan terjadi,
I can acknowledge this is not a matter of lacking time.
saya bisa nyatakan ini bukan masalah yang kurangnya waktu.
It's that I don't want to do it.
Saya hanya tak mau melakukannya.
Using this language reminds us that time is a choice. And granted,
Ini mengingatkan kita bahwa waktu adalah pilihan. Dan benar,
there may be horrible consequences for making different choices. I will give you that.
mungkin ada konsekuensi buruk karena memilih hal yang berbeda, dan saya sepakat.
But we are smart people,
Tapi kita cerdas,
and certainly over the long run,
dan dalam jangka panjang,
we have the power to fill our lives
kita mampu mengisi hidup kita
with the things that deserve to be there.
dengan hal-hal penting.
So, how do we do that?
Bagaimana melakukannya?
How do we treat our priorities as the equivalent of that broken water heater?
Bagaimana melihat prioritas seperti pemanas air yang rusak itu?
Well, first we need to figure out what they are.
Pertama, cari tahu apa saja prioritas itu.
And I want to give you 2 strategies for thinking about this. The
Saya akan memberi Anda 2 strategi.
first, on the professional
Pertama,
side,
dari sisi profesional.
I'm sure many people coming up to the end of the year are giving or getting annual performance reviews.
Saya yakin banyak orang di akhir tahun memberi atau mendapat ulasan kinerja tahunan.
You look back over your successes over the year, your opportunities for growth.
Anda meninjau kesuksesan selama tahun itu. Kesempatan untuk tumbuh Anda.
And this serves its purpose,
Ini ada tujuannya.
but I find it's more effective to do this looking forward.
Tapi menurut saya, lebih efektif untuk melihat ke depan.
So I want you to pretend it's the end of next year.
Saya ingin Anda berpura-pura ini akhir tahun.
You're giving yourself a performance review.
Anda mengulas kinerja Anda.
And it has been an absolutely amazing year for you professionally.
Dan tahun ini, secara profesional, kinerja Anda sangat luar biasa.
What 3 to 5 things did you do that made it so Amazing.
Sebutkan 3-5 hal yang membuat hal ini mungkin.
So you can write next year's performance review now.
Jadi, buat ulasan kinerja untuk tahun mendatang hari ini,